In the legal world, there is a combination of forces that feed a corrupt and suffocating legal system for attorneys. Law schools, law professionals, judges, and even the firms themselves for whom you work create a system, a matrix, if you will, that is nothing like what you thought when you passed the bar exam. The purpose of this podcast is to help you escape this legal matrix, leading you out of the proverbial desert to be free of the bondage of the matrix. Hosted by Bryce D. Nyer, attorney at law with over 30 years experience in the trenches of civil and criminal litigation at the state, federal, and international levels. He's a highly accomplished and resourceful legal professional, a true master of his craft, and he's here to help you get your life back. Here's your host, Bryce D. Nyer.
All right, here we are. It's another episode of Escape the Legal Matrix with yours truly, Bryce D. Nyer, coming at you live from Fayetteville, North Carolina. Tonight's episode, A Time for All Seasons. Wow, everybody's going through a season, good, bad, and different, the good, the bad, and the ugly, no matter where you are. Everybody's life has a season. And one of the things that, one of the verses anyway, that I have read many times in Scripture, in Ecclesiastes, I guess that's how you pronounce it. I always screw it up. But anyway, in 3 and then verses 1 through 8 is this: to everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under heaven, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to break down and a time to build up, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance, a time to cast away stones and a time to gather stones together, a time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing, a time to get and a time to lose, a time to keep and a time to cast away, a time to rend and a time to sow, a time to keep silent and a time to speak, a time to love and a time to hate, a time of war and a time of peace. Wow. When you really think about that, I think, this is my opinion, that all of us go through one of these seasons. And it happens every day. You know, today I had a run-in with somebody and, man, it just, this particular person just frustrated me. And I have been exceptionally nice and graceful. And this particular person just really triggered me. And I just had enough. And it was a season to where a season like, hey, man, I've had enough, and I'm done. D-O-N-E, done. And I always come back with like, hey, I get it. Jesus says, be graceful, turn the other cheek. I get all that. But sometimes there's another saying says, don't be stupid for Jesus. Now, why do I say this? Why do I talk about this? Because in our world today, many people's hearts are cold. They're hardened. And they're just mean. They're freaking mean, man. And everybody's under such stress and pressure. And I believe there's just what's going on in the world today is unprecedented. I believe that everybody's soul is stirring. I believe, and I always have said this for a long time. Again, I'm not a saint, but I believe that we are in the end times. I do. I think lawyers, the legal profession, ignore it. And quite frankly, I think the legal profession, i.e. the legal matrix, is the weapon of choice to silence truth around the world. Now, you can disagree with me, but if you look at the facts of what is happening across the world, there are seasons ongoing in every single country. War, famine, you name it, earth, natural disasters, delusion, deception, one world order, the control, the cashless societies, invasion of privacy, you name it, it's there. And it's really pretty scary. But nobody wants to talk about it. They don't want to talk about the seasons that are ongoing. They don't want to talk about the seasons in their life. We know that they're ongoing. We know that they're happening, but we don't know how to talk about them. And we don't know with whom to talk about them. And I find myself more and more as I grow older, especially when I have friends and family, that are dying. Some have died quite young. I'll tell you, when that happens, when you personally know somebody that's died relatively young or died of cancer, or you've taken them off life support like I've had to do for two people whom I love, I'm going to tell you something. You'll wake the hell up and you'll realize that these seasons, they're real. They're not made up. They're not fake. and they happen to real human beings. And there's no doubt in my mind as I go about my daily life and I just kind of watch the interaction of people, and when I'm out, when I go to restaurants, when I go to the beach, when I drive, in traffic and stuff, I can see it on people's faces. I can feel it when I'm engaged in conversation. I can sense it that they're in one of these seasons that I just read to you a few moments ago. And it's hard not to be in one of these seasons because that's what life is. When God created man, he didn't, he didn't promise everything was going to be great and wonderful. Well, he did till Adam and Eve kind of screwed it up, if you believe in Scripture, which I do. And then the fall of man happened, and man, there was a big problem. And Jesus never promised that we'd have a life that wasn't filled with challenges and obstacles, heartache, death, destruction. He never promised us it'd be perfect. There's no way. He clearly said it would not be. And yet, we, and me included, we seek to have these perfect lives. We seek to have these perfect seasons with no storms in them, and it just doesn't happen. I know in my life, and I'm sure in your life, that you've gone through many challenges, whether it's been divorce, bankruptcy, lack of money, lack of resources, hatred, people who betrayed you, people who slandered you. I would gather to imagine that each one of us has gone through this smorgasbord of seasons, and some of them pretty rough. And yet, we've managed to come out the other side intact. And sometimes that's very difficult. Some people don't come through intact. Some people don't survive the obstacles. They don't survive the challenges. They don't survive the season. And so it begs the better question: what season are you in? And given the particular season that you're in, what are you doing to make it through the season? Whether it's good, bad, indifferent, whatever it is. And I find myself many days thinking about this. And I'm like, man, I'm in the way I'm feeling. I'm looking at the facts, versus the feelings, and I'm combining the facts and the feelings. And somehow they kind of get intertwined. But there are certain facts in my life that say this is the season that you're in. And this is why you're feeling the way you do, because the facts of my life, the facts of my circumstances, the facts of my season are dictating how I feel and what I'm doing or not doing. And these challenges and obstacles, they just seem to pile up on me. And I know they've got to be piling up on you. It's really just a difficult time to be living today. Even with all this technology that promises to make everything easier, there's nothing easier. It's just faster. Don't you get it? We are accelerating toward these seasons. We are in an acceleration pace in these seasons toward the end. And people just they want to ignore it. They don't want to talk about it. They act like there's nothing going on in the world. We'll go watch a football game, we'll watch a soccer game, the World Cup, whatever it is, okay? We'll go have a beer, we'll go to the beach and pretend that it's just all okay. Well, it's not all okay. There's something happening. There's a shift in this world. There's a shift in our souls. And we're all being awakened to the fact that something's going to happen. There's a storm coming. And you know it. I know it, you know it, and everybody knows it, but some people don't want to admit it. And that's where then again, the subject we talked about before, pride. Pride will keep you from recognizing and acknowledging the season that you're in. It's true. It's really, really true. So I want you to think about this. I want you to sit here today, tonight, whatever time zone or country you're in, and I want you to ask yourself, no matter what industry you're in, whether it's legal, dental, real estate, I don't care. Just ask yourself, sit down and go, what season am I in? Is it a time to do something? Is it a time to take action, or is it a time to step back? For me, I will tell you personally, it's a time to move on to the next portion of my life, to that final stage. I have to let go of the past, those past seasons. The scars that are there have developed me to be prepared for where I'm going next. I'm convinced of that. And some of the seasons I've been in, they've been rough, but there are a lot of people, millions out there that are in seasons, they're being raped, murdered, everything taken from them, their freedom, their family members. Man, it's horrible. And yet they persevere. They still have faith in Jesus and God. They do. It's like Job. No matter what was taken from him, this guy stood firm. And the other better question is, when you're going through these seasons, are you going to stand firm? Am I going to stand firm? Sometimes I get scared that I'm not. Sometimes, I'm like, man, maybe I'm just a coward. I'd like to think that I'm not, but when the true test comes in the season, you're going to find what you're made of. So ask those better questions. All right, this has been another episode of Escape the Legal Matrix. This is yours truly, Bryce D. Nyer, and we are out of here.